Never seen a lame man walk, never heard a dumb man talk, never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt, never seen all the poor get fed, never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an orphan find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength. I promise you will change his name. Never seen the sick get healed. Never seen a mystery revealed. Never seen a death man raised. I promise you will change his name.
What's up, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy, Bigger T. Joined, as always, by the man whose name comes first in the name of this podcast, because he is the Big C, Clint Clark. CC, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm fantastic. I mean, we have tinkered with changing the name, and we still might. But I mean, I don't think we're going to change it to Bigger T, Big C.
No. It's Big C.
Because Big C, Bigger T flows better. It's funny. I got a text message before we started recording, and I don't feel like we're spoiling anything because everybody knows it's coming. But they're like, when am I going to hear Big C, Bigger T talk about Bobby Petrino? And I'm like, it's funny. We're recording at 4:30.
Well, that's right. It's Wednesday afternoon. Like, we let it marinate on us a little bit, and but we'll talk about that later. Clint, I work at a public school. Okay, work at it used to be Camden Harmony Grove. Now it's Ouachita County Harmony Grove because they changed it. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been filling in for one of the principals. He's also over transportation. He does PE for the elementary. And so I've been filling in some in his PE classes, which pretty much I just take him outside and we play. Well, I did the first grade.
Now, you remember Coach Smith? He had a PE group that he literally went out there, threw about 7 or 8 balls on the football field, and then locked the gate.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Let me tell you something. You couldn't get away with that nowadays because this is 100% shoot, 100% factual.
Yeah.
That happened.
That's right.
I'm not gonna name which Smith, but it was Terry. He just threw a bunch of balls out there.
Yeah.
These kids irritate me to no end. He would throw the balls on the field and lock the gate.
That's right. Now I take them to the playground and then I tell them no playing in the Gaga pit. Do you ever play Gaga ball?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, it's a big thing now. It's huge. Okay, kids love it. It's kind of like dodgeball, except all the kids are in like this octagon shaped pit, and except you can only throw the ball like you hit it underhanded, and you can only hit them knees and below. Okay, if you get hit in the knees and below, you're out. So you jump the wall, and it's like the octagon's like just a small wall. You can jump over it or whatever. Anyway, kids love it, but it always leads to arguments because some kid always, I don't want to go out. Anyway, sorry. So for these PE classes, I go, especially for the little kids, I go to their classroom, pick them up, they line up, and they follow me out to wherever we're going for PE. Okay. So I go to this first grade class. And while I'm out there waiting, I got there early. So I'm sitting out in the hall and I kind of look in the classroom and they're watching a video. Well, some of the teachers had made this video. I think it was teachers. I don't know who it was, but they made a video of a guy dressed in a Grinch costume. And he's going around through the elementary school and all the classrooms. And he's taking stuff out of the classroom and moving stuff around and just doing Grinch things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's, he's doing Grinch stuff. Right. And so, it's silly. It was fun. They had fun music behind it. And he's playing hopscotch in the halls and he's doing all kinds of stuff and playing different games in all the rooms. And the kids are all, oh, he's in our room. And they're noticing, like, he put posters up of himself all over the place, and pictures and all that kind of stuff. And so the kids start noticing all of it, Well, and this is them coming back from Thanksgiving break, getting ready for Christmas. So after that, we go out in the playground, and I do this little deal where I have the kids raise their right hand, and they got to swear to me they're not going to get in fights and not going to be mean to each other and stuff like that. And they never listen. But anyway, and so then I noticed this one little kid, like, he looked like he was about to cry. And I said, buddy, are you okay? And he had a friend with him, and his friend spoke for him. His friend said, he's scared the Grinch is going to come get him on the playground. This little boy was scared. Like, he saw that video, and all of a sudden, like, he's literally terrified.
Yeah.
That the Grinch is going to come get him.
This poor kids have anxiety.
I said, buddy, listen, I said, if that old Grinch shows up, I'm bigger than he is. I'll body slam him. He said, you will? I said, I've done it before. He said, you have? I said, yeah. He started bothering me one time. I just picked him up and threw him on the ground. He said, I don't know. I'm still afraid he's going to come out here and get me. I said, well, the principal, Mr. Patterson. Mr. Patterson is our principal, neat guy. He's got a broken foot right now, and it's in a boot. And he's got one of those scooters that you put your knee on and scoot around or whatever. I said, well, hey, if he even gets close to the school, Mr. Patterson has video cameras all over the school, and he can see them from his office. And if he sees him, he's going to get on that scooter, and he's going to chase him down and kick him with that super boot he wears. He said, he will? Yeah, he will. He said, oh no, I'm still scared. Clint, that kid did not leave my side the whole PE.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't leave. Like he just stood right there beside me the whole time. He was scared of the Grinch. I said, look, have you seen the movie? I said, the Grinch ain't that, he don't want to hurt nobody. He just wants to mess up Christmas. I said, he just wants to take people's gifts and stuff, and then he ends up giving them back anyway. I said, he's not that bad of a guy. He just kind of misunderstood.
Just because he's a bad guy doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Anyway, so that's what your public schools are doing now, folks. You're terrifying little kids with.
You say that's not a new thing. I want to tell you, when I remember being like in 3rd or 4th grade and they're telling us about Bigfoot, you remember me? I was a young lad with anxiety. Like, everything scared me. Like, I mean, I'm just telling you, I was a terrified kid. And I just remember going home and sleeping in the floor in Tom and Sue's room because it was a shadow that I swore that was the shadow of Bigfoot coming to get me.
I didn't know you were scared of Bigfoot.
Well, I'm not. I mean, obviously, I kept telling them, I saw Bigfoot last night. She finally goes, Clint, Bigfoot's not real.
Oh,
and
he is.
Yeah, but I didn't believe her. I'm like, no, you're lying now.
I seriously, in Valonia, they have the Bigfoot, like, get together, people that say they've seen him and stuff. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
They have one of those, if you ever watch that Finding Bigfoot show, they go to some of those conventions, I'd love to go to one of those just to people watch.
No, because it's not going to be the best and brightest there.
Oh no, it won't be.
You're not going to see like a CEO of a company be like, you know what? I was out with my wife.
No, but Clint,
RV.
they believe everything they say.
It's Billy Boat by from the trailer down on 64.
Yes.
Like, hey,
And
man,
it would be comic gold.
because Bigfoot. It's going to be. Look, me and you. I'm fully confident we'll have the most teeth in the media.
Yes,
110%.
Clint, you know how entertaining that would be.
No, we actually need
just to get in there. Like, look, just to get in there and just listen, and just to soak it all in, and just yeah.
Well, I wonder which one would have a more interesting, because I've been thinking, like, who would have a more interesting cast of characters there? The Bigfoot, I've seen Bigfoot convention in Bologna, or pro wrestling locker room.
I think the
I think Bigfoot. I really do.
Bigfoot, yeah, and pro wrestling locker room is pretty entertaining too. Wrestling locker room is pretty entertaining, but their stories are true.
Yeah.
And not figments of imagination.
But that'd be part of the big of it. Is like you can just make it up. So
yeah.
Travis, anything interesting happened with football this week?
Oh,
anything at all? I mean, we're kind of we're in the off season for Arkansas.
Yeah, there's not much, not much making news.
Mm-hmm.
Just the usual. Oh, well, there was that one thing.
Yeah, there was that one.
They did hire a coach.
They hired an offensive coordinator, and like you've been asking for, they hired one with head coaching experience, one that knows the state of Arkansas, like Pittman said.
Yeah, look, I was really hoping they would get somebody, Pittman, this season, his lack of head coaching experience showed. We felt like he missed Odom. And so he needed somebody with some head coaching experience. You need somebody that can run a creative offense, that can find weaknesses in other teams and exploit them. And so, man, they went out and they looked at all those things on paper, and they found what they think is the guy.
Eddie, the resume's good.
It's a resume,
and I absolutely hated it. I hate it. I think.
Look, folks, here's the deal. We're just going to be upfront and honest with you. Most podcasts and Razorback shows that you're listening to and watching right now across the state of Arkansas are elated and excited. The guy who got us to 10 wins last time is back. Win at all cost. He's back, baby. Redemption tour. Bobby Petrino is back. And they're excited about it. Okay. We'll talk about how we think about it. But I will tell you that Clint and I were probably both looking at our possibilities in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
If Arkansas State had any other coach besides Butch Jones, I might be wearing an Indian hat right now, but I'm still going.
A Red Wolf, either one.
A Red Wolf, sorry.
Yeah,
my bad.
Let my tech roots come back. Me, and I was yesterday I was done as a Razorback fan. I was absolutely done. Like, I'm done. I hope they lose every game. I'm done. Felt like Pittman so, and then I started really thinking about it. And by the way, we can be happy that Petrino's back, and that's fine. But let's not kid ourselves. This is not the Bobby Petrino who left the locker room and quit on the Atlanta Falcons, who was just a good football coach. But he did that. That was a big mistake. And that's part of the reason, like, he handled quitting the Atlanta Falcons about as poorly as a man could.
Yeah.
And maybe Petrino's grown up enough that he realizes that too. But he got fired at Arkansas, took a rehabilitation job at Western Kentucky. If you're Western,
hold on just a second, Clint. I want to say this.
Go ahead.
My dislike, I'll speak for myself, but I think Clint agrees with me, would say this. Our dislike and not liking Petrino as a coach is not about X's and O's. It's not about wins and losses. It's not, and for me, it didn't start with the motorcycle accident. It started when he was in the midst of winning a lot of games for Arkansas. When I started looking at it try to look at it from a perspective other than just a Razorback fan. If you remember when he was here before, everybody was saying the national media hates us because they have a vendetta against Bobby Petrino because he left the Atlanta Falcons. And ESPN doesn't like us because Home Depot is a big sponsor and the owner of Home Depot owns Atlanta Falcons. So that's why ESPN doesn't rank us high. That's why they don't talk good about us. Yada. That stuff was going on. Everybody hates Arkansas because they have because we stole him from Atlanta, right? The problem was, I just didn't see that. I didn't see that could be the case. I didn't think that would happen with everybody. So I called one of my buddies.
I thought we got a lot of negative press. I think, I don't know if you remember the offensive lineman, Derek Deese.
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting in a text argument with him defending Bobby Petrino at the time.
Mm.
And then he was, anyway, but then turned out he was right. But go ahead.
Well, and so what I did during that time, I had a friend that, and I won't say his name because I don't want to, but he worked on a national syndicated sports talk show. Okay. He was like, at that time, the show was on TV and radio. Okay. Like like a lot of the shows. And so I just asked him, I said, what does the national media think of Bobby Petrino? And he said, Travis, he's not a good guy. He said when he comes in to do interviews, he's rude. He treats people bad. He said there's a reason he only stays at all his jobs for 2 or 3 years. Everywhere he goes, look at his. Clint was about to go through his resume.
Oh, well, yeah, his resume post Arkansas.
But even before that, like at Auburn.
But the thing is,
he tried to go around as head coach to get the job there. He tried to go around Tuberville to steal the job there. Everywhere he's gone, he only lasts a few years because he ticks people off. And he doesn't recruit well because people don't like him.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
But here I'm going to go down his resume now, and why this. You're a jerk to people because you're either insecure or you have an ego. With Bobby Petrino, I think a lot of it was the latter. He probably thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And a lot of times he probably is. But the fact is, if you look at what he did after Arkansas, took the rehabilitation job at Western Kentucky, right, Travis?
Yeah.
And then he took that. He got the opportunity to go back to the place where he made his name, Louisville.
Yeah.
Where he was head coach and did a great job at Louisville the first time. What happened to him at Louisville once Lamar Jackson was no longer there, Travis?
Oh, yeah, he was gone.
He got fired.
Yeah.
He found out during the middle of filming his coaching show that he got fired.
Yeah.
No Harley Davidson needed.
Yeah.
Got fired. So then he goes to Missouri State. What was their record his last year there, Travis?
What, 5 wins?
5-6. And now they about beat Arkansas at home.
Mhm.
But that was an Arkansas team that we had a defensive player on that team that was on the podcast that said, yeah, we really just thought we were going to go out there and just win, and we weren't going to have to try.
Mm.
They completely overlooked Missouri State. Shouldn't have happened, but that's what happened. And we heard that. I'm not going to name the player's name. Go back and watch the podcast. It was a defensive player who's not in the transfer portal. There's your clue. So he went 5-6 there, and he went to. Then he literally went from that. I'm not sure if they fired him or he just decided he'd had enough of that, or if he thought being an offensive coordinator at a Power 5 school was better. But he took that. He went to Texas A&M.
Nope, wait, there was a stop before that.
Oh, he went to UNLV, and then he went from UNLV
for a cup of coffee.
I ain't going to blame that on him, because if I'm at UNLV and Texas A&M comes calling off in the same position, you've got better toys automatically.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault Petrino on that one.
No.
And I love to fault Petrino. Nobody dislikes Bobby Petrino more than me. So this isn't the Corvette pulling up in front of Razorback Stadium. This is like a old car that needs restored.
Yeah.
It's like an 88 Corvette that's got some potential, but tires need change, got oil leak, needs it reupholstered. Bobby Petrino needs to rehabilitate his image.
Well, and here's the deal, Clint. And look, man, I'm a preacher, man. I base my life on redemption stories. I preach it, I teach it, that people can be redeemed, that, okay. But you just told his life since he left here when it comes to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have the problem with. Yes, the guy can go out there and he can put a game plan together and can call some great plays and can pick out the weaknesses of the other team as good as anybody that's out there. Okay. I believe that with all my heart. The problem is he's only going to be able to do it for a couple years, and then he's probably going to go off and do something else. Whether he's going to wear out his welcome, whatever's going to happen now. And in the meantime, he's going to do things like, I don't know, belittle and cuss out a quarterback on the sideline and on national television, yell across the field at the opposing coach and cuss them out. That's something to be real proud of your coach. Okay. But here's the deal. Okay. Maybe Pittman can calm him down. Okay. Maybe he's exactly what Pittman needs. Maybe he's the bad cop. Pittman's the good cop.
And maybe they need each other. I'm hoping it works. I still don't like it. I don't like it, but also I get it.
On paper, it makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
On paper, makes a lot of sense. But I'll just put it this way. I was embarrassed before. I am not factoring in the motorcycle incident. I'm not factoring that in. I was embarrassed to have him as my coach before the motorcycle incident.
Okay? No, I was embarrassed by the way he quit Atlanta.
Yeah.
By the way, you look them players in the eyes and say, look, I got this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Bobby Petrino has a history of one thing. Well, more than one thing. One of the things he has a history of is lying to his boss.
And look, and I've heard stories too.
But
I've heard stories about his dad treated him pretty rough. You know, when he would lose football games, his dad would make him sleep on the front porch as a kid, like in Idaho where he grew up. Okay. In the cold. He got treated rough. And so, yeah, he came about it naturally. Okay. And maybe he's calmed down. I know Rick Schaefer was talking about he's seeing some things on LinkedIn, some pictures of him with the grandkids, and he's hoping he's calmed down and things like that. And I hope he has. And I hope, when he came and apologized at the touchdown club and he did all those kind of things, man, I mean, I really do. I hope it works out because I love the Razorbacks. I'll never quit rooting for the Razorbacks. And I hope, I really do. I hope this is exactly what the Razorbacks needed.
But here's the thing: is there's a good portion of the fan base that's on board with this.
Oh yeah.
I hope you prove. I hope Petrino proves me and you wrong.
I do.
I
really
want
to be wrong.
I want to be wrong. Nothing. It is over. It is done with. Me and Travis can dislike it all we want. Bobby Petrino is the offensive coordinator of the University of Ohio. He will be on the sideline wearing Razorback gear. So,
because here's another thing, Clint. Here's another thing. I really like Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
I didn't like some of the decisions he made this year. I thought his inexperience as a head coach showed. Is the reasons he's been an assistant and not a head coach all these years showed this year. But I want Sam Pittman to leave on good standing. Yeah. I want him to be able to leave and go and retire in Hot Springs like he wants to do. And if Bobby Petrino coming in as offensive coordinator can help him do that, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And so, look, from what, Trey Biddy's saying, there's some excitement with recruits that are actually out there, saying, hey, they're excited about it. There's excitement with some of the players. There was a deal came out today. KJ was leaving, and then he posted on Instagram, I haven't made up my mind yet. So that turned out to be a false deal there. I'm anxious to see what KJ decides.
Yeah, here's my thoughts on like the KJ situation. There's not been someone who's had a bigger man crush on KJ Jefferson than me. When KJ got recruited out of the state of Mississippi to be the Arkansas quarterback, he got recruited to play 4 years with the possibility of a redshirt year. Mm-hmm. He has given the University of Arkansas a redshirt year in 4 years. Mm-hmm. He has given what we ask of him. He is also leaving the University of Arkansas with a degree as a graduate. Mm-hmm. So if KJ wants to go have fun somewhere his last year, go do it. You've earned. To me, he's earned the right to do it.
If he wants to go make a money grab, go make a money grab.
Yeah, you have given us what we asked, and he's left. And whether you like him or don't, he's leaving with a whole lot of records that probably won't be touched for quite some time, if ever.
Well, the thing is, he's looking at a new offense.
Again,
an offense that's going to resemble more Enos's offense than it's going to resemble Browse's offense. Okay. Now, Petrino showed with Lamar Jackson that he can adjust it and make it work.
Yeah.
For a mobile quarterback too, though. Okay. So it'll be, I thought Enos did a horrible job. Okay. Petrino will do a better job of giving whoever quarterbacks a chance to do well. Okay.
This year it had to be a frustrating year for KJ because it reminded me. You remember Derek Carr's older brother. Mm. He got ruined at Houston because the offensive line was so bad. That man took such a beating. I remember watching who was the guy from Greenbrier that went to SMU? I'm brain farting on his name.
Nathan something.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to say Brashears, but that's definitely not it. But yeah, he went, and I watched him. He opened up, his first ever start was against Baylor, when Baylor, I believe, had RG3 had just won the Heisman. They were opening up their new stadium. He'd been named the starter, and that was the worst beating I've ever seen a man take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he took a beating, and he never was the same.
Yeah.
I mean, KJ didn't have a chance to show what he could do. And the offensive line, and you know, I was listening to Josh Pate. I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm sorry, Travis. Josh Pate, I love his stuff. And he's talking about, well, you know, losing hurts. If you're an Arkansas fan, the losing hurts. Because, but we as Arkansas fans, we have lost before.
Yeah.
I mean, we've experienced some losses.
Yeah.
What was disappointing and what hurts more than anything was the complete ineptitude on the offensive line. And Pittman he said it something really in his last thing, and this tells you how good the coaching is in the SEC. Is we were able to move the pocket and stuff against Florida, and when we played Auburn, they had figured out, they already knew what we were going to do, and they were ready for us to move the pocket, and they stopped it because we were just so much better than FIU that it didn't matter. And then they played Missouri, and that happened. So yeah, that's what stings more than anything, is just the complete nightmare the offensive line was.
Well, and here's the deal. I have no doubt Petrino is going to do things to hide those weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because Petrino never had the best offensive lineman. Petrino never had great defenses. Okay. He knew how to hide those things. Okay. He knew how to hide them. Now look, Petrino's not going to be a great recruiter. In fact, they probably won't send him out to anybody's houses. They didn't when he was head coach.
No.
He stayed on campus and he was the closer. Okay. He would come in and, they would just, okay, here's our head guy, and the position coaches did all the recruiting. He's going to need good assistants under him that are good at recruiting. Okay. Which we got some there. Jimmy Smith's a great recruiter. If he can talk Guyton into staying, Guyton's a great recruiter. But now he's got a taste of calling plays. It may be hard to keep him. The tight end coach is a good recruiter. Morgan, I think's his name.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the offensive line coach. Now, one thing they did talk about is this may open it up for Pittman to be able to work with the offensive line a little more.
Yeah.
In the same way Nick Saban works with the D-backs a little bit. Now, he won't be the position coach, right, but he'll have someone else be the position coach. But they think which I think Pittman tried to do toward the end of the season, where he flowed down there and did some work with them. I figure a couple of days a week he'll probably try to at least run drills with them.
If you're Sam Pittman, he said when he got here, you didn't come here to get fired.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're a chef and you're on a competition cooking show and they're doing an elimination and you're known for making omelets, you're going to be sure you dang sure don't get sent home on omelets.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a head football coach and your specialty is the offensive line, I'm going to be dadgum sure I'm not going to get fired because of the offensive line.
That's right.
I have no doubt that Sam Pittman, whether it's the transfer portal, rolling his sleeves up, coaching them himself, he's going to get that offensive line fixed. I would hope it wouldn't have taken all off season, all this.
Yeah.
But I think I've got faith he's going to get it fixed. And all the things you've mentioned are reasons why, if Petrino's attitude is in check, if his stuff's in check and it's going to be a good marriage, it could be perfect. Because the things you are saying are strengths of Sam Pittman.
Mm.
Pittman's a solid recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. He's got a good defensive staff, and he's got some good athletes on defense.
Yep.
They're going to need to get some pieces from Porter. Obviously, we lost Poopaw
and Jordan Crook.
So you took a couple hits,
but we still got Thomas and Sherman. They were good hands on that linebacker core.
Raheem Thomas, yeah, and I think Greer. I think this was his COVID year, so I think he's gone. So they're going to lose a couple, but they had some. I think Marco Avant. They had some recruits there that I think they really liked, and we're going to see. You're going to see some. I don't see Landon Jackson coming back. Because I've seen him as a first round pick.
Yeah, with what's his name? Who's the pundit?
Mel Kiper.
Mel Kiper, yeah. With him talking about him being one of the top pass rushers, yeah, he's not coming back. I bet you.
Well, I can't blame him.
No.
I mean, if you're going to the first couple rounds, and it would, and I'm still the belief that KJ would have a great combine, if he gets an invite. But
yeah, he doesn't.
Or if he goes, I think he'll test well, but that's just me. But it's one of the things where I think, he's got pieces in place. If he can just get the offensive line and the play calling fixed. And dadgummit, he's got the tools to do it. He's got himself and Bobby Petrino. I think it's.
Well, once again, and Bobby's going to be, he's an experienced head coach that can be that sounding board also. So, all right, Clint, let's turn over to basketball.
No son of mine's going to play shooty hoops.
Went down to the Bahamas, beat Stanford, and was it 2 overtimes? The first game. And then just wore out the next 2 games against Memphis. That one kid from Memphis just went off. And then I didn't get to watch a lot of the North Carolina game, but
yeah, I didn't either. I will say this: I felt like the Memphis game, and Arkansas fans are always blaming the refs. To say that was poorly officiated would be an understatement. I thought it was some horrific officiating.
Yeah.
How many technicals did we got? Like at least 3 technicals called on us.
Yeah.
And none of them even looked that bad.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I did not hear words, so I don't know what they said. But there was some obviously some bad officiating, but there was at least 3 technicals I can remember in that game.
Now we've got some guys that have been kind of pushing the limits. Trevin Brazil, he's gone a little too far. If you asked me a couple times on some things and gotten away with some stuff. But anyway, what I saw is this team is not yet playing good team defense. That's one thing they got to work on, and they're not sharing the ball on offense very well.
So let me ask you this: do you think it was a mistake to go somewhere like that and play the game?
They learn from that.
And there's a meme. I'm sure the listeners or watchers have heard it. That Eric Musselman broke down the tape himself. It's something that he normally lets his assistants do. Like he broke the tape down and gave every player a cut of theirs. So, yeah, I mean, it was discouraging. North Carolina just felt like it got away from us early. The Memphis game I thought was nip tuck. I really think the officials made a difference. Whether Memphis would have won or not, I do think they made a difference. And you want to feel like the referees have nothing to do with the outcome, and I couldn't say I felt this way.
Well, and the thing is, the way we're scoring right now is isolation ball on offense. And that's not sustainable. You can do that every now and then in a game where, like a guy like Marks will isolate himself and score or some of the other guys, but you can't do that game after game. And that's what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And you can do that in NBA. That's not, you don't need to do that in college. It's not good.
Yeah.
And so, and we just don't have but part of that's these guys just learning to play together. There's a lot of new guys on the team, and they just got to learn to play together. And that's what's happening. I still think this is a very talented team. I still think they're going to make a run in the tournament. No matter what happens tonight against Duke, this is still a talented team that's I think going to do great things.
Dude, how big is that though? Did you see like they're camping out at Bud Walton?
Yeah.
It is big time basketball back at the university.
My mom called me this morning on my way to work. She said, I was watching the news and they were interviewing some people up in Fayetteville and they were in tents. Why were they in tents? It's cold. I said, Mom, because they're waiting to get into the game.
Yeah.
She said, why? I said, they want to get good seats. They want their students. She said, well, what about class? I said, yeah, they're not going to class. They're skipping it.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I mentioned Ronnie James going to like civics. He goes, Ronnie James ain't going to class.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think Ronnie's attending like psychology. Like, no.
That's going to be a big game tonight. What time does it start? Do you know?
I believe it's 8:15. It's a late.
Good.
I think the crowd should be good and lubricated. If you get my drift.
Yeah.
The students probably getting lubricated in the tents, and it should be raucous. This will not be this will be a crowd similar to what Auburn met when they were number one a few years ago. This will be Bud Walton at its loudest. Now, that being said, if you think Duke is going to come in and be intimidated, but Bud Walton Arena, you have another thing coming because these kids have to go to Chapel Hill.
Yeah. Where
they like them about as much as my ex-wife liked me when we were going through her divorce.
Yeah.
It just ain't it. They're used to environments like this.
Yeah.
No, I know Bud Walton can be a different beast. It gives you the advantage. I wish we had Tremont Mark, but we don't.
Yeah.
And obviously by the time this comes out, the game will already happen, so we won't know. So I'm not gonna. So who you picking us or you picking Duke, Travis? I just want to know.
I'm going us.
I'm gonna be
back at home. Fans will carry us through.
Tremont Mark's out. We just took it on the chin in the Bahamas. That being said, when's the last time we played a basketball game, Travis? Was it Saturday or Black Friday?
Yeah.
So Saturday, so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You give Eric Musselman 3 days to prepare. I'm going to say Duke's going to win it at the end, but it's going to be a dogfight because Eric Musselman will have these kids prepared.
I say Devo goes for at least 25 points.
Ooh. Yeah.
Comes out fired up.
Yeah.
Trevon Brazile has another. He has at least 3 threes tonight.
Okay.
And a couple good dunks.
Yeah. Yeah. If this team starts making layups, watch out. I mean, they had that, like that game against UNC Greensboro. I mean, that doesn't concern me because that was just one of them games. They were just off.
Yeah.
they were getting the looks they needed. The ball just wasn't going in the basket. And over the course of the season, I think every team's going to have one like that.
Yep.
So.
Well, Clint, Bobby's back.
Bobby is back.
Bobby's back, and we're all gonna be in trouble. Hey, hey.
Just keep him away from Barnhill where they play volleyball, and I think we'll be all right.
You know, when I messed up today.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't think about it. I kept referring to the motorcycle accident, and I meant to casually say the got beat up by your mistress's boyfriend incident. But anyway, that motorcycle wasn't that beat up, folks. No. It wasn't that beat up.
No. You know, guys, he did not get fired for having an affair. Nope. He got fired for 2 reasons: lying to his boss and misusing state funds to hire his mistress.
That's right.
So that's why he got fired, not because he had an affair.
That's right.
That's not grounds to lose your job.
That's right. Hey, did you hear someone said something about Jeff Long is moving up to Fayetteville or Northwest Arkansas?
Well,
let's just get the band back together, baby.
Let's bring back Pepsi and let's just do it all.
Oh my gosh.
Bring back Pepsi, get some Diet Pepsi. By the way, can you think of just something vile that you'd rather drink other than Diet Pepsi? Like if there was a vial of deer urine in front of me or Diet Pepsi, I might be tempted to drink the deer urine. I haven't had a soda in years, but oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was weird because my wife came over here and was just standing right there at the corner, like, what are you doing? What? I'm like, oh, I forgot. I texted her and said, will you bring me a cup of coffee?
There you go.
There you go. So,
all right, folks. Well, thanks for watching, listening. Like, share, comment. Hey, how are we wrong about Bobby? Tell us how we're wrong.
Tell us.
Go ahead, lay into us. Lay into us. We can take it. We're big boys. Look at us.
Look at it. Beefy.
We're a big boy.
Beefy. Beefcake.
I can whoop the Grinch. I can whoop you. Come on.
You know what I count? 2 beefcakes. 1, 2.
That's right.
Beefcakes.
Produce the barber. All right. Like, share, comment. Peace out. Go Hogs. Beat them dirty Blue Devils. Beat them.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard, I can barely breathe. Hard to sing a joyful song. The words got me on my knees.